All right, so today I want to fix the two major problems I have with our chicken plucker. Now, to give you guys the information a lot of people want to know, the brand is Roots and Harvest. I don't think it really matters. I think they're all built in the same factory, right? They just have different labeling on them. I got it off of homedepot.com, and the reason it's homedepot.com is because you obviously are not going to find these in the stores, but if you're a veteran, thank you. You go play with that. But if you're a veteran, you get 10% off of a lot of stuff at Home Depot, which also includes homedepot.com. So that's just a little savings tidbit. You can find these at other websites for the exact same price, but if you buy from Home Depot, sometimes they give you 10% off. So I got 10% off on that, which basically takes care of taxes, and I'm pretty sure it was free shipping. I can't remember the exact number, and I don't feel like going back a year on emails to find that receipt, but I think it was like $3.44 shipped to my door, which is the absolute cheapest one I could find, even going on like Amazon and buying one of their weird things. But at least Roots and Harvest has kind of like a brand name, and it was from Home Depot, so I feel like it would be easier to return than some of the Amazon stuff, right? So that's what I got. Now, the two biggest problems I have with this are both related to the power. This cord is only like 3 feet long. It's way too close to the machine, and it has one of these stupid GFI plugs or GFCI plugs. I don't know, whatever you electricians call this stuff. Every time you use it, you gotta hit the reset button. Or once you plug it in, you have to hit the reset button, not every time you use it. That gets very annoying because one, it's short, and it's actually close enough that this trips all the time. Even like we would hang it up on a chair, just spraying everything. It's like water would get on it and trip it. I don't know, it's just annoying to have. And it's annoying to also have to be able to prop this stuff up because you want to just throw it on the ground. But it's so close, unless you're processing like one chicken, the area, and you know, if you process chickens, it gets very soaked around where you're working. I want to switch that out for a longer cord. Now I'm going to see if I can get into the motor and kind of unhook the original cord and put my own cord on there. If not, then I'll just cut that off and splice in a longer cord. The second problem I have is with the switch underneath the unit. So when this thing is going and the water's splattering all over the place, you have to reach under this thing and hit the switch. You know, and if you're old, like, you don't want to bend down and like look under, so sometimes you're kind of like feeling around for it. Last year we did something like 170 plus chickens. Just imagine doing that many chickens and having to pop down every time if you're doing one, or every other time, you know, I mean, if you're doing 2 chickens. So at minimum, I bent down 80 something times, right? At most 170 times. It's really annoying to do it. And then you get wet all over. And I know you're processing chickens, you're gonna get dirty and filthy, but it's like, man, it's like that annoying little extra part that if the switch was just on the top somewhere or something, it would be better. So I have a fix for that, I hope. I don't know if it's gonna work. If you're watching this, then it worked. If you're not watching this, then it didn't work. First things first, let's see if I can pull this old cord out. Old cord out. Cannot talk. Well, I was accidentally recording in time lapse. I hate these headphones. This touch, too sensitive, always goes off. Anyways, I was accidentally recording in time lapse, so let me just show you. This is actually pretty easy, and I'm pretty happy about this because I'm gonna be done with this very quickly. So, whenever I have power tools, equipment, whatever it is, when it goes bad, I cut off the extension cord. This actually came from a pressure washer that somebody gave me, and it sat for 2-3 years. I never used it, and it never worked. I tried a bunch of things to try to get it to work, but at the end, I was like, I don't even care. I have another pressure washer, so I cut the plug off and threw the thing away. And then my other pressure washer actually died, And that one was like 8-10 years old, and it was like the cheapest. I don't know, it was either Greenworks or Ryobi. I don't remember what it was, but it served its purpose. So I cut the cord off of that one, threw that one away as well. But now I have myself a nice long cord, and I already cut the GFI plug off of that, and I had spliced on a new one. I was kind of hoping that was the problem. If not, it was gonna need a new plug anyways, and I really hate those GFI plugs, or the built-in ones, because if I'm outside, then I already have one at the outlet, right? The outlet is a GFI, so to have them on the plug is just like redundancy. And then on all the ones I have, I can't even plug those straight in, so I have to use an extension cord. So like, why? So anyways, I have this. I have me a nice long extra cord, and then I'm gonna just splice this new one in. So luckily they just use these little clips, which is really nice for me. And I just have to figure out how to get the ground plug screwed back in. I'm pretty sure I got some little electrical connectors. If not, I'm just gonna wrap it around the screw, and that should be good enough. So let's get this new one in. Well, I just sat down and do this, and already a problem. I forgot about this. This only has hot and neutral. There's no ground. Could I get away with ground or not having a ground? Sure, but I'm dealing with something with a lot of water around it, which, I mean, this was a pressure washer, so why did it not have ground? China, that's why. So I can't use this cord. I can use that plug. I have another one. Let me go find it. Well, I'm not gonna keep searching for it. I can't find it. But I do have an old pool pump that I haven't thrown away yet, and it has a cord. So let's yank that cord off and move to the next step. So that's how you just take cords off. I know some people are like, why don't you just cut it, resplice it, do all that stuff? Well, because I would have had to strip all this, etc., and I needed to put that back on for the grounding. So why not just spend an extra minute or two, whatever that took me to do that? And yes, I put everything back together because I might want to try to use this stuff for something later. Anyways, let's get back to this. See if it works. Still works. Unfortunately, the pull plug also has one of these things. And so here's the problem. This doesn't deal with the fact that I still have to do this, but every time you cut the power, it resets this. Huh. That's gonna save me some time. Nice. Okay, so this just got way easier. Ha! I'm kind of happy this worked out this way. So this plug, every time you plug in, you have to hit this reset button, which would prevent me from doing what I want to do. And that is adding a dead man switch. So these are called dead man or momentary foot switches. So this is, man, I'm gonna be done already. As long as this works. I don't know if this is gonna work, but if you're watching this, it works. So what you do is you just plug this in, okay? Now there are other foot switches that turn things on, and then you have to hit it again to turn it off. So a dead man switch or a momentary switch just Amazon it. I think this was like $8. It only turns on when you step on it, okay? So now I can take this, and now that I'm actually thinking about this, there's really no reason to put a longer cord on it because I still have to have the foot pedal. I need a longer cord on the foot pedal. Whatever. You know what? Who cares? Now you know how to take out a switch if you don't want to do this. So, okay, let's power this up. Turned it on. It works. Off. On. You know, like when you haven't done something before and you're like, oh, that should work, but you have no clue because you've never done it before, and then it works. I'm pretty stoked. So this now solves that problem of me having to come under here and turn this on and off every time we pull out a chicken. Because again, if you're gonna do this, and if you wanna make money and you're gonna do it with this cheap one, get one of these. And the option, you don't have to replace the cord, but this is still way too short. You can cut this off and put a regular plug on and it will do this. Or the funny thing is I actually replaced this because I thought maybe this would be the problem on that pump, but because these things go bad all the time, and so I put a new one on. This is actually a new one, and these are the ones you want to get. I also got this off of Amazon. I cut the old one off because it went bad and put this new one on and it went right. So I was just gonna unscrew this, take off this cord and put that regular plug on. But now honestly I'm like, well, I spent a whole lot of time putting a longer cord on when I probably want like a 6-foot cord, and now I have like a 20-foot cord, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I have both options now, and if this fails, which is only $8, and I saw some of these up to like $30, so if this fails, then I still have the nice long cord, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty, man, when you do something, I'm telling you. All right, so it's a few days later, and I realized I never actually shot an outro, or I did, but I don't know, maybe I wasn't recording or something. So anyways, I got this off of Amazon. I looked, it's $8.99. You can get ones with longer cords, shorter cords. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll be actually using this in about 4 weeks. I'm just trying to get everything ready. So in 4 weeks, we will be processing 30 birds, and I'll let you know how it goes. I also have a few other tweaks and updates I want to do to the rest of our gear that I'll be making some videos, and then I'll do like a whole tour on our class day of how we process chickens. So if you're interested, subscribe. All right, that's it. See you guys on the next one. Remember, there's copper and all this other stuff in here. That's money, okay? A lot of people are gonna throw it away. I fully understand. You don't like doing that stuff, but you know what? I pick up pennies, I pick up quarters, anything like that. The amount of copper in there is probably worth $1, but at some point, I don't know, maybe I'll break into that. Maybe I'll use that pump for something else if the pump still works. I mean, it's rusty in there, so some water probably got in and destroyed one of the relays or capacitors, or I don't know, one of the electronic things, but the pump is probably still good. I don't like to just throw stuff away. I know I say like, oh, I just threw this thing away. I didn't. What I actually did is I threw it over here, or I threw it on a big trash pile in the back, and I just know that someday I'll dig into it. The only thing I actually throw away are the plastics, and that's because there's nothing else to do with those things. So the metals, especially stuff like the copper, the wires, even if they're aluminum, I'll keep them. Eventually I'd like to have some kind of forge and melt down a bunch of copper, make copper bars, or I don't know, I'll just have enough someday that my wife will be like, get rid of it, and I'll go recycle it, get a couple bucks, and I don't know, go eat some Chipotle or something. And that's always my answer. When I used to have a detailing business, I had a couple clients that all I did was wash their cars, and then I would, you know, kind of polish and wax them every couple of months. But washing them was really just as a marketing thing for me to be out there. People could see me, people would stop by, they would see this car constantly clean, and they would see me constantly there. people would eventually be like, you know, I've seen you here for like 6 months. You must be good if they're keeping you around. And boom, and then I would sell another detail. So I made very, very little money actually washing people's cars. I didn't really charge a whole lot. I could have charged more, but whatever. What I would say is like, I'm gonna go get my Chipotle money today. So I would go out and then I would wash someone's car for, I charged anywhere from 25 to 50 bucks, depending on what I thought I could get out of the person. Exact same wash, by the way. Most of my clients were about $35, but most paid me 40 to 50 anyways. They would just tip me. So I would go, and then I would go to the gas station immediately. I would top off my tank, and then any money I had left over, which it usually cost about 40 to 50 bucks to fill my tank. I'd usually have about 10 bucks left over most of the time. And Chipotle was right next to our house or our apartment at the time. So I would go get Chipotle for lunch and then go try to get some more details. So that's always my thing, is anytime I have extra money, I think this is my Chipotle money. I live 45 minutes from Chipotle. I've had Chipotle once or maybe twice in the last 2 years, so it's not like I do it anymore. But to me, that's what this little bit of extra kind of useless money, you know, useless we'll say, is Chipotle money. So someday, that's my Chipotle money.